Welcome everyone, Monday, April 23rd to Healthy Scratches. What a wild weekend of hockey. So much to break down. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins who beat Philadelphia Flyers 8-5. Insane. Okay, first of all, they've scored over 5 goals in each game they won? Or not even when they lost?
No, it's 5-1 they lost.
Yeah, they lost.
And then they lost game 4, 5-4?
Yes.
Still impressive. The amount of goals they've scored is insane. Jake Gensel with 4 goals.
Oh my God.
Insane.
In a playoff game of that magnitude?
It was like every time you looked up, this guy Jake Gensel was scoring. I mean, I'm not this
We're
guy.
like, who is Jake Gensel?
But if you look at the stats, 31 playoff games, 19 playoff goals. What is going on with Jake Gensel?
Yeah.
I mean, it also has to do with he's playing on the Pittsburgh Penguins, a really high,
I mean, so's everyone else on that team. Connor Sheard had 19 goals in 31 games.
I know, but you see the goals he was scoring, like Phil Kessel was setting him up with perfect passes on 2-on-1s.
Perfect.
This guy just had to be in the right spot at the right time, and 4 goals in a matter of, what was it, like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
He scored the last one in the second, and then 3 in a row in the third. It's crazy.
It was kind of a crazy game because they were tied 4-4 going into the third, and then Flyers had a 4-on-3 that they couldn't capitalize on at all.
The Penguins came back twice of two big deficits, right? They were down two times. And when you come back like that, it seems like the game's over. Like if you hold 2 leads like that at home and you can't put it away, the game's going to be over in the third. And I mean, the Penguins just stepped on the throttle and it was over.
And I mean, a lot of times hockey coaches talk about no goals in the last minute of the period. It kills you. It breaks your back. You know what's worse, Julie?
What?
2 goals in the last minute of the period. How do you let this happen, Frankie Burley?
Into the room
4-2. They're going to take it into the third up 4-2. Let's go to game 7. Let's get. All of a sudden, they let that
Blink of
one
an eye.
And that's bad, 4-3.
It's really bad.
You got to stop.
That's one of those, if you're a fan
bleeding.
and you're at the game, you see the clock, what was there, like 2 minutes left, like 1:30 left, you run to the bathroom, you're like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom
Go get in the beer line now.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you come back, the game's fucking tied. That's got to be such a shocking feeling. I mean, everyone as a fan, you know those moments where it's like, fuck, I missed something. To miss when you're up 4-2, you think the game is like a wrap almost, and then you come back to your seat and it's 4-4 in the blink of an eye. It's nuts.
I mean, this is why this Penguins team breaks your back, is they're so opportunistic that they don't just get the chances when you make a turnover or what was the other one? They didn't get the puck out. Right. They make you pay for it. Yeah. Like Kessel, he could have easily shot that and maybe it goes off his pad and it's like, wow, that was close. They make you pay for it, and that's why they're going for the 3-peat.
And you mentioned the fans. Of course, they were a big storyline at the end of this game, throwing beers on the ice. Jamie Alexiak was shielding Brian Rust from getting a beer thrown on him. Really bad move, just really classless move from Flyers fans. And also, Sidney Crosby was surprised people were throwing full beers on the ice because, I mean, those beers are like $18.
Listen,
what are you doing?
We always rag on the Flyers for doing it, but a lot of teams end up doing
this.
No,
they don't. Other teams
I was at a game in
on.
2013 when all Islander fans were throwing beers at people
on the ice.
In 2013 playoffs. They lost the game against the Penguins.
And it's very hard to control when people start doing it.
You know what it is?
You see it a lot at soccer games, but not like hockey.
I always think
a little bit better.
We always talk about just the Flyers being like a trash city, and you do see other examples of this happening. It's bullshit. I don't think it should happen. It's like, hey, you lost the game. You shouldn't be throwing shit on the ice. It makes your team look bad. Because you have a couple outlying fans that are wasted and they're just throwing it on. You really can't do anything about it. Like you're saying, it's impossible to control.
Right.
But I mean, it has nothing to do with the team itself. I always think we think of Philly teams. I think of just trash immediately. It's like it's a couple of just drunk fans that are doing.
It's because Dave's tweeting that the city is trash.
Yeah, I think they figure the season's over. There's nothing left to lose. There's not gonna be a game until what, October. Let's just. I mean, I thought Crosby's line about laughing at why. Oh, I mean, those were full. He's just mastered it so well at this point.
He knows everything to say.
He just disrespects them by just perfect etiquette. I've never seen anything like it.
Also, Flyers fans, Sean Couturier had a torn MCL, scores a hat trick. We discussed it on Barstool Breakfast today. I thought it was, an incredible feat. First of all, Willie Colon, my co-host, said it depends on the grade of MCL tear, but I think this is huge. I mean, Radko Gudas, we know, was the one who took him out, and then he comes back and does this.
Right.
Are we
surprised?
all
saw the hit. Whatever grade it was, that was a nasty hit to get your knee blown up like that. He did a front flip. And, I mean, it's a sad ending to the season for him, and especially for the Flyers, but, I mean, going up against a team like Pittsburgh, you couldn't 100% expect to move on. And for what happened, I think he did about as good as you could ask. He went from a guy who everyone was like, oh, second line, shut down center, it was his ceiling, and now he's like a #1 center, absolute stud. Huge year for him.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for them. Here's Nick and Booze with a little more on the matchup as these guys feeling it today, at least Booze is.
What's up, guys? It's Nick and Booze coming to you directly after an 8-5 Pittsburgh Penguins win. The Battle of Pennsylvania is over. It's now Gensylvania. Jake, the young stud sniper with 4 goals. Absolutely electric atmosphere inside of Wells Fargo in Philadelphia. But after a 2-goal lead, the Penguins get a late goal at the end of the second and an early goal in the beginning of the third and suck the life out of that place. Booze, what happened, buddy?
I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, honestly, it's hard to even believe that the Flyers had a 2-goal lead in this game. Not only that, Sean Couturier had a hat trick. Played out of his mind, but what happened? The curse of Radko Gudas. Coughs up the puck a few times. It was so bad. Lets up a few goals. And then not only that, the refs, they completely forgot that, oh yeah, we probably bet on this game, so we're not going to call the...
Oh, here we go. You just had a 4-on-3 power play seconds before the missed call on Letang, and then you give up a goal off of a missed call, and the whole team completely went to shit. They forgot there was a game to play.
Yeah, but
the crowd starts throwing shit on the ice.
Blatant,
and
it's
Philly,
hard not to. It's
have
hard
some
not
respect.
to be deflated.
At least finish your beers before you're throwing the cans on the ice. What are we doing here?
Listen, I've been drawing a bath during this whole entire time. I'm going to go blow dry my hair while taking a bath. See you later.
Great stuff. Penguins will now meet either the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Washington Capitals, who are not dead yet, have come back and won 3 straight. Will play again tonight. They could win the series tonight against Columbus. Slow start to the series, but Braden Holtby and all the guys figuring it out. Maybe they will avoid a second-round exit.
Yeah, it was good to see a team. It was good to see a team at home win a goddamn game in this series, right? And shout out to PFT. Did you see the video of him just? I mean, it was like he saw like Jesus coming down right in front of him on the ice. He had like a euphoric look on his face that he finally saw his team win an overtime game at home. It was a good feeling. He probably has the feeling that you're saying that they may have a chance this year to do something because they finally woke up. They lost the first two games against Columbus. Now they're rolling. Hey, I mean, you can't stop this train right now. I was betting against them all series, especially when they were down 2-0, but you really can't say anything against the Capitals when they're playing the way they are right now.
I mean, 4 out of 5 games going to OT. This is an absolute battle, and it could have gone either way. And so many of these overtimes, there's like a bounce either way. It could be the Caps could have won 4 games already, or the Columbus could have won 4. It's like, it's very tough to say. I mean, overtime hockey is the best way to decide who's better compared to like just playing more and more and more games. But I mean, it's very hard to say in this series as far as like who's better, because look at Columbus, like in that what was it, the second overtime the other day? If they win that, it's like they're going home up 3-2.
Yeah,
and I think they're
completely changed momentum.
It just sucks. I don't know. I'm a big Blue Jackets guy. I thought that they were really doing a good job to contain Ovechkin, and now it's like as the series goes on longer, you really lose your grip on him. And
you kind of feel bad for the Blue Jackets because like they've been doing well regular season, and then they play well. And
Bobrovsky, those saves on Carlson.
They've got a ton of great snipers. They're very well-rounded.
Saves on Carlson. What about the one on Ovi, too, where he came across and Ovi didn't lift the puck up?
Oh, my God.
Like, how are you making saves like this and keeping your team in the game? I mean, he was legitimately single-handedly keeping his team in the game by making outrageous saves. Not just a good number of saves, but outrageous saves.
Yeah. It's very cool, especially for, like, Bobrovsky, I'd say Seth Jones and Werenski as well. They don't get a lot of shine being in Columbus. It's kind of like a smaller market. It's not doesn't get a lot of national games.
It's a college football town.
And they are, I mean, Bobrovsky is one of the best goalies in the entire world. He's an absolute stud. That save he made on Carlson, the glove save in OT, oh my God. To have the wherewithal to not freak out when he's alone like that, the guy's a stud.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Columbus could even up this series. But speaking of goaltenders, Toronto Maple Leafs shout out to Freddie Anderson, 42 saves against the Bruins. Everyone thought the Bees were going to win Saturday night at home. Tuukka Rask gets pulled in the third period, allowing 4 goals on like 13 shots. Anton Hudobin comes in, makes 8 saves or whatnot. Tuukka Rask, surprising that he kind of fell out of form. He won them the game the other night. I mean, he's been amazing. normally. And that's a really bad look for the Bruins, as it's a big Game 6 tonight. Leafs at home. Whole city of Toronto is going to be behind
I think
them.
Tuukka Rask has enough of a track record to show that he can have one bad game. I don't think it's that bad of a look for Boston. That he got pulled. They want to just ignite a fire and not let that game slip away. And they ended up coming back, and they had a chance to tie it in the end.
Oh, I mean,
when
I
thought
we're like one bounce away from
and getting
maybe
power
the
plays
season
towards the end of
Dude,
the third period.
well, because Leafs took like four of the last minor penalties like at the end of the game. You can't do that. And when it was 4-1, I was like, okay. Then it's like 4-2, 4-3. I'm like, nope, shut it down. Let's not do 2013 all over again.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just giving Pasternak all them 4 chances at the end of the game. Like, please score on me. That is a dangerous game to play. I mean,
I'm so pumped. I'm
at
so
home
pumped.
tonight, I would love to
so
see them win.
excited.
And go
I
to
almost
7.
thought about flying back to go to the game, and then I was like, no, why?
I mean,
This is setting up for what I said before the
No, it's
series.
gonna be Game 7.
I love when the Toronto Maple Leaf fans get this excited. I love.
Why? Come on, we're back in it.
I cannot
They
wait
did
for
this
that shot of the outside where all the people are outside the stadium looking.
Not
I can't
happening.
wait.
No.
This is an evil thing to
I
say.
can't wait for that
Nope.
flyover.
Nope.
You know the flyover of all
Yeah,
the
the
fans
it's
It'll-
cool. It's
it'll
cool.
be
You
great.
can't
I
hate
can't,
on
I
that.
can't
It'll be
wait.
happy.
I cannot wait for all the. I
yeah.
can't wait to watch them all just like disperse and
Nope,
walk back to
that's
their
not
cars.
happening.
It's the best
It's
feeling
not.
ever.
They're going to force a
That's-
Game 7.
I enjoy
we saw
watching misery more
2013
than I
this
enjoy
happened. They
watching
were down
happiness.
3-1 in this series and ended up coming back. Game 7, not how Toronto fans wanted to go, but revenge is in the air. Blood in the water. Bruins had a chance to get it done. They could have squashed Toronto. They've allowed them to win 2 games. So,
No.
too bad, Dave
I don't know.
Portnoy.
I hope so. I'd love to see 7, but I
the
don't
Bruins
know.
Come on,
are just
7,
the Bruins are a
7,
much better
7,
team than Toronto.
7.
Maple
They are.
Leafs.
They're
They're
Yeah,
a
but
much
that doesn't
better
always
team.
win.
It will though. In a 7-game
Nope.
series, it will win
Nope.
the series.
Nope.
Bruins will win the series.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. Speaking of a Canadian team that is winning, and congratulations to the Winnipeg Jets winning their first playoff series in like 30 years or something like that.
I think it was ever of this iteration.
But like since the old Jets.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they're technically the Atlanta Thrashers.
Right.
So
it is the first.
it is the first, but like if you consider them the old Jets, then they're
I mean, this
Where
series.
did the old Jets go? The old Jets became what?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
This series, Nashville, Winnipeg, could be the series of the playoffs
Yeah.
to me. It's just two teams
so
that are
stacked.
so well-rounded. They have so much speed and big bodies. Nashville's decor is going up against Line A, guy that you give 3 inches of space and it's in the back of the net. I cannot wait for this series.
Yeah, this one's good. Also, in memoriam to Colorado, to the Wild, and Flyers, of course, too. And Vegas, a team that has been already into the next round for like a week and a half now. They did something with the Food Network. They're on a show, a bakery show. It's called Vegas Cakes on the Food Network. Personally, I think that the Vegas Golden Knights are having a little too much fun in the playoffs right now. This kind of stuff I feel you do after you've won a Stanley Cup. Like, oh, we do cake stuff. We, have fun with the UFC on Twitter. It almost feels as though they've already won the Stanley Cup in their mind.
It's a social media team. They're doing all they can to make their presence in the league, right? They're trying to catch up to all these teams that have all this history, and they're trying to make their own voice in the league. So I really don't blame the team for doing all this like carnival type shit where they're like, hey, we're doing this, we're gonna mix it up on Twitter like you said with the UFC, we're gonna do cooking shows in the playoffs. Like it has nothing to do with the players. I think the players are still, they're still.
But they're like going out to it and they're like, oh,
I know, but
trying to eat all the cake.
Listen, they're acting like it's just like a regular. They're just doing business. They're not going to change the way that they've been doing this all year. They've been doing this funky, weird shit in Vegas. It's a show.
It just seems like they've already won the Stanley Cup. They're like,
I mean,
yeah, we're the best ever.
They're
In
just trying
some
to have
regards,
a voice.
like they've gone as far as any expansion team could ever ask to go. They
Yeah.
kind of have. I know that's like a taboo thing to say, but at this point, I think they're playing with house money, pardon the pun. But what are you gonna do? I mean, they got what, a week off?
What if they
It's tough.
What if they get like swept by San Jose? Do we see
No.
how? Are they already?
I don't-
They
I
I don't think
technically
you
already
say
won
it's
the
because
Stanley
of the
Cup.
social media,
Yeah.
Twitter
No,
account.
I know that, but
I
I mean,
think it's
like-
because they're just going to be overpowered.
Are you going to be? I'm saying like if their season they don't win another game, are they successful this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Are they like?
Julie, if they weren't
will it
last in
come
the league,
short?
they would have been successful.
They're
Okay.
the first team to even have a winning record.
No, I
expansion
agree.
team
I'm
since
just saying like
1960
it
in
already
any
feels
sport.
like they've won. It doesn't matter
They
if
kind
they
of
don't
have. I
win
mean, the
another
problem
game.
is they want everything right now, and hopefully they get it. But I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. When you started the season, if you were like, oh, you get swept in the second round of the playoffs, you'd be like, get out of here.
Right.
They would never have believed that. So it's tough. I mean, it's a week off. Obviously, you'd rather have everyone be locked in and focused, but
it's hard
what
to
are you
keep
gonna do?
your attention too during like long playoff
because
stretches.
the other thing they could say is, well, we're just sitting around. Why don't we do some publicity and grow the game in this new expansion city? It's very hard to like hate on that.
That's what I mean. Every team has like their own thing. Like the Canadians, they have the history, and like the Rangers, they think they have like all these kings and all this bullshit. Like the Vegas Golden Knights need.
I like that.
The Vegas Knights need their niche in the league, and maybe their niche is like they're this fun, crazy type of like social media account. They're gonna have Cirque du Soleil flying around the stadium. Like that's just what they're gonna be, and I think it's working.
And it's easy to say, what if they get swept? What if they sweep again?
Right.
I mean,
I'm just posing hypotheticals.
Right.
I think it's great what they've done. I think it's different seeing a team kind of going out in the media and doing all this publicity, maybe because I've been around like original 6 teams that don't have to do that.
Right.
Like you don't see the Bruins or the Flyers or the Leafs or like even the Habs. Like they have history. They're not going to be like, hey, we're at the Food Network.
Right.
Let's try our
poutine. All the media
poutine.
shows up to Carey Price's first practice of the year, and they just want to hear how his legs are doing. They don't care about what he ate.
Yeah,
like,
but
that's
then
how it is.
To that
just
point,
how
market.
That's how
but
the
to
market
that point,
is.
Nashville then I guess embraced sort of being that like fun country singer, wild entertainment town, and it like they wrote it and it worked for them.
I mean, the other thing is they mortgage everything on it. If they win, I mean, this is going to be an all-time story.
Yeah.
All time.
Nashville's a great story too. I saw Keith Urban got interviewed on like NHL's Instagram. They're saying like, how do you feel about this? And I mean, Keith Urban's not really. I mean, he lives in Nashville, but he's not a Nashville guy. So like, that's why I always think it's so weird that they ask these country singers exactly what's going on there, because they're just doing it because they live in the
like
city.
going
They're not
to the
like
game.
huge hockey fans. But he was saying it's amazing how the expansion of the city of Nashville is coinciding with the expansion, like the explosiveness of the Predators. So everyone's like starting, like you go to Nashville, every bachelorette party's in Nashville. Nashville, the city is
the
really
proximity of Bridgestone is like right at Lower Broadway, which is,
So
as a broadcaster, when I used to work those games, nothing better. Put down the microphone, 5-minute walk, you're at Tootsie's.
Right, but it feels like it's been this last like 5 years of this, like it's starting to build.
Coincides with a good team.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that has
Everyone's
something to do
feeling
with it. I wonder if
It's kind of the Nashville model almost.
Right.
Like
Nashville's
Vegas.
hot right now. Just like the whole city of Nashville is just, it's like booming.
Yeah,
So I
same
wonder
with
if that helps
Vegas.
with the team.
And as much as we think it'd be cool to like see Vegas win in their first year, I wonder if the Board of Governors would be fans of that, old-timey
I mean, there's definitely a frustration level when you have
management
these guys
NHL guys.
sitting there for decades trying to win something, and then these guys come in their first year and absolutely embarrass all these teams. Like, if you're the, St. Louis Blues, and you look at the team that you've been trying to move, I mean, they did win in, 2015? I'm not going to shit on them completely. They've had good years, but it's like, if Vegas wins the Cup, very hard to look.
That's
look
tough for a
yourself
couple
in the
other
mirror.
teams.
Very hard, because all these guys are rejects. Every guy was a guy
Was
who
left
another team
unprotected.
was like, yeah, take these guys. It's crazy.
It's a good story. We'll keep breaking that down as it continues. Thanks, guys. Let's go, Leafs, go.
The Leafs have no chance.